What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a bit of a different video I want to be going over with you guys. A bit more of like a discussion video. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about, the Toronto Raptors and them taking Scottie Barnes over Jalen Suggs. And a lot of people saying that was a stupid move. Why would they do that, etc. If you guys have been watching my draft content, you would probably know that I actually think out of everyone in this draft, Jalen Suggs might have the most bust potential, and that's how I've been seeing this. And I predicted before the draft started that the Toronto Raptors would take Scottie Barnes before they would take Jalen Suggs. Now, before I get into my reasoning, I just wanted to clarify why I think Jalen Suggs could actually have a lot of bust potential, in my opinion. I know he's a good shooter, right, and I know he's a very, very good leader, but I very, very much question him as a player and if he can do this in the NBA. A lot of his plays, were kind of those big flashy plays in college. He even said it himself in an interview. He always wanted to hit the game, winner and just do a lot of flashy plays and get into those highlights, but he started to grow out of it. In my opinion, I don't necessarily know if he started to grow out of it. Sometimes he'd put his team in weird positions to do these like flashy highlights. Again, I don't know if his shooting will be as consistent in the NBA as well. I think he might take a little bit of time, and don't get me wrong, I don't think he's going to be a bust. I think he's going to be a very good player. But on the Orlando Magic, where he's going to be competing for minutes with Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, and RJ Hampton at that point guard position, wow. I don't know if he'll be as good as what people are saying in his first season. And in my opinion, I don't know. Sometimes I also question him defensively. Sometimes he can be a very good defender, but sometimes he can't be. I don't know how he can guard the two, like if he's going to be very consistent with that or not. I have a lot of questions on Jalen Suggs, and that's why I think he's got some bust potential here and there. Because I think out of a lot of these players, there are a lot of question marks on Jalen Suggs in my opinion. But with Scottie Barnes, I feel like you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a Draymond Green type of player. A dude that can guard 1 through 4, can play make, and can be a very, very good defender on this team and can be a decent scorer with time. The only issue is his shooting. But we know he's a bad shooter, and we know he could eventually develop into a good one. But when I look at Jalen Suggs, I think there are a lot of question marks. His defense, consistency, his tendency to, continuously try and do flashy plays and put his team in just weird positions. His shooting, will it be as consistent in the NBA? I definitely know his scoring will be as consistent. His athleticism, all of that type of stuff. You don't have to worry. And his leadership. This dude's a great leader. Again, he'll be a good leader in the NBA too. But I actually don't mind this. I think this was a good pick by the Toronto Raptors. I think they will be trading Pascal Siakam now. I think that's a given. If they don't trade Pascal Siakam, like if they can't, then they'll probably just bring Scottie Barnes off the bench to play some small forward, power forward, and maybe even some shooting guard here and there. Probably won't play that much shooting guard because of his height, but hey, he can definitely guard 1 through 4. We've seen it in college. He is a very, very good defender. But again, it doesn't seem like the Toronto Raptors are like fully on, Pascal Siakam. And as well, some might, question, why wouldn't they run as well Scottie Barnes at point guard? Like, Scottie Barnes is a very good playmaker, and he played a lot of point guard / point forward, you know what I mean, in college. Like, that's kind of what he did. So, like, why wouldn't you just run a starting 5 of, like, Scottie Barnes, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and whoever they get at center? And that's just saying if Kyle Lowry doesn't re-sign, which I don't think he will. I can't see why they couldn't do that. Like, Scottie Barnes is that versatile as a defender. Yes, it will take some time for him to learn how to guard, players like Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, etc. But hey, I think there could definitely be like a good cause for him to try and prove himself at that position. So in my opinion, it wasn't a bad pick by the Toronto Raptors at all. In fact, I really, really like it. He's a much better defender than what Jalen Suggs is, in my opinion, and that's what the Toronto Raptors are built on. Their big thing is defense. They love their defense, and that's why their team kind of fumbled when they had no interior defense with like Aaron Baines and Pascal Siakam there. This guy will come in, he'll be a great defender, He'll, again, probably not be as good as a playmaker when he comes in the league, but trust me, he will develop. This guy's got Draymond Green, you know, prime Draymond Green potential written all over him eventually. Well, Jalen Suggs, I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. Like, I promise I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I'm just saying I think he has a lot of bust potential, and I still have a lot of question marks on Jalen Suggs, and I think a lot of people are overhyping him. And, like, I've said this about players before. I've said that I thought Kyle Kuzma was a little bit overhyped when he was doing really well on the Lakers. I honestly thought that, you know, Markelle Fultz was a little bit overhyped here and there as well, and he hasn't kind of panned out, you know, in the NBA. I thought James Wiseman was a little bit overhyped coming in the NBA. None of these guys have, like, really panned out in the NBA. Of course, there's still a lot of potential for them to be very good players, but I'm just saying I did see some bust potential on, like, both of them. I think Fultz and Wiseman will have fantastic seasons, but I knew they were going to start off rough, and I honestly think the same as Suggs. I think the same with Barnes as well, but I think Barnes can definitely develop into being a very, very good role player, you know, once the time, you know, comes, and even being, like, maybe a defensive, you know, second team or defensive first team type of guy in the future. And being like a Draymond Green just type dude, and people that would want to disrespect Draymond Green. When Draymond Green was in his prime, he was one of the best defenders in the NBA. One defensive player of the year. Still one of the best playmakers in the NBA. Averaged like 9 assists this season. Great leader. Scottie Barnes can be all of them. I guess Jalen Suggs could develop into them soon, but his defense, again, question marks. Great leader, though. Great scorer. Will his shooting be as consistent in the NBA? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just have a lot of question marks on Jalen Suggs. But of course, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think Scottie Barnes is a better fit for the Raptors like I do? Or do you guys think they should have taken Jalen Suggs? Of course, don't forget to subscribe. You know, again, just let's have a civil conversation. I know some people will find some of the things I said, you know, controversial, but I gave my reasonings why, and I still just think Barnes will be a better player. But of course, I'd like to get active in the comment section with you guys. Just let me know. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, my IRL/vlog channel. Check out my podcast as well if you haven't already, which I'll be linking all of them in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.